Hello, and welcome back to another marvelous video. We are once again back with an origin story for one of our favorite Mortal Kombat characters. Today's character in focus is the legendary Kung Lao. Kung Lao first appeared in Mortal Kombat 2, which came out in 1993. Since then, he has been featured in every Mortal Kombat game, whether as a playable character or as a guest in a cameo spot. Without a doubt, Kung Lao is one of Mortal Kombat's most important characters. It's only natural that fans of the franchise want to learn everything they can about this intriguing figure. Since you clicked on this thumbnail, we assume you're a Mortal Kombat or video game lover. Therefore, as we begin our voyage, please fasten your seatbelts because it's time to fight. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means an awful lot. Thank you. Let's begin. The history of Kung Lao from the Mortal Kombat game franchise. Making his debut in Mortal Kombat 2, Kung Lao became one of the Mortal Kombat universe's most enduring and famous characters. Kung Lao is a ferocious and formidable warrior worthy of representing Earthrealm in the Mortal Kombat tournaments and wielding a deadly frisbee-like hat with a very sharp brim in addition to his proficiency in martial arts. Kung Lao is conceivably the last surviving descendant of the great Kung Lao, a former Mortal Kombat champion who lost the crown to Goro 500 years earlier, leading to Lao's death at Goro's hands and the beginning of Shang Tsung's dominance over the competition. Kung Lao belongs to the same organization as his friend Liu Kang, the White Lotus Society. Kung Lao was initially chosen to represent the Shaolin in the Mortal Kombat competition, but he withdrew since he was aware of the repercussions of winning. Liu Kang was ultimately selected and declared the winner. In the original timeline, Liu Kang and Kung Lao decided to go through the portal to the Outworld and exact revenge for their murdered Shaolin brethren when Baraka and his Tarkatan warriors invaded the Shaolin temples there. Kung Lao's ultimate objective was to restore the White Lotus Society at the Wu Shi Academy in order to educate a new generation of warriors for the ensuing millennia, even if he accompanied his comrade on his ferocious quest. He and Liu Kang traveled to Outworld to engage in combat with Outworld's warriors in a brand new competition. After Shao Kahn was overthrown by Liu Kang, the monks returned to Earthrealm and started preparing the following generation of Shaolin fighters. Next, in Mortal Kombat 3, he was forced to temporarily abandon his ambitions for reforming the society when Shao Kahn invaded Earthrealm. At some point, Kung Lao encountered Shao Kahn, the Emperor of Outworld, who cast a potent spell on him, wounding him so severely that it was thought that he had passed away. Liu Kang was furious at learning of Kung Lao's alleged demise and challenged Shao Kahn, who he eventually defeated for the second time. We see the story continuing in Mortal Kombat Gold, which was released in 1999. With Outworld defeated, Kung Lao opted to never come back to the Shaolin temples, rather allowing everyone to believe he was dead and living a peaceful life in accordance with his ancestors' ideals. This would not last long, as Kung Lao was forced away from his newfound calm to assist in the struggle against Shinnok's soldiers when word arrived that Goro, the Shokan warrior who had murdered the great Kung Lao eons ago, was still alive. Following Shinnok's defeat, Kung Lao assaulted Goro, who had struck a peace pact with the Centaurs through Princess Kitana's intervention. Instead of an assassination attempt, the attack was a ceremonial strike of revenge for the murder of the great Kung Lao. The years that followed were quiet. At the time of Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, the sorcerers Quan Chi and Shang Tsung banded together and assassinated Liu Kang in a terrible attack. Kung Lao discovered the body of his long-lost comrade and was informed by Raiden instantly that Shang Tsung was the assassin who had joined the Deadly Alliance with Quan Chi. Enraged, Kung Lao vowed vengeance on the sorcerer and abandoned his peaceful Shaolin principles once more. He thought that his present abilities would be unable to overcome Shang Tsung. Kung Lao sought guidance from martial arts master Bo Rai Cho after meeting with the other Earthrealm warriors and journeying to Outworld. For a brief period, Bo Rai Cho trained Kung Lao and taught him the whirlwind kick maneuver. They collaborated to attack the two sorcerers alongside the other warriors. Kung Lao would be unable to rest until Liu Kang was avenged through the death of Shang Tsung. Bo Rai Cho was then invited to return with them to Earthrealm to teach other fighters at the Wu Shi Academy. However, the attack did not go smoothly, as seen in Mortal Kombat Deception. With Liu Kang dead, Raiden and his allies knew that they were waging a lost battle. The deadly alliance was contested by Kung Lao and Kitana. Shang Tsung and Kung Lao engaged in a one-on-one battle, but Shang Tsung was able to maintain his full power because of his Soul Nado, making the fight extremely challenging. Things would worsen as Kung Lao's teammates lost the battles one by one. Kitana would lose against Quan Chi, and Kung Lao would fall into Shang Tsung's clutches. Kung Lao perished, leaving Raiden alone to take on the deadly alliance. However, following the events of Deception, Onaga resurrected Kung Lao and enslaved him. It is widely believed that Ermac's Deception ending, in which Kung Lao and Liu Kang's souls are successful in freeing the Earthrealm warriors who had been imprisoned, explains how he was able to break free from Onaga's spell. Following this, Kung Lao has a non-canonical appearance in Mortal Kombat Armageddon. According to Fujin's Mortal Kombat Armageddon character profile, Kung Lao teamed up with him to control their erstwhile allies Raiden and Liu Kang, with Raiden being just as cruel as Shao Kahn and Liu Kang's corpse deliberately killing different individuals. Fujin continues in his bio by saying that he and Kung Lao would have to kill the two corrupted warriors if a solution to restore them to normal couldn't be found. Kung Lao appears to have slain Baraka in the climactic battle, but Shinnok ultimately prevails against him. We saw Kung Lao again in 2011 when the franchise got a soft reboot through their new game, Mortal Kombat, which is also called Mortal Kombat 9. Liu Kang had been selected by the Shaolins to represent them in the Mortal Kombat competition, but Kung Lao, thinking he was Liu Kang's equal, joined the contest by pretending to be one of Shang Tsung's bodyguards. He stayed disguised until Scorpion made his appearance in one of the tournament battles. At that point, Raiden had a vision that revealed the identity of the masked guard. Raiden approached Kung Lao and informed him that the Shaolin had already selected Liu Kang, and that he was not Liu Kang's equal. Meanwhile, Shang Tsung asked the swarm of fighters who wanted to battle Scorpion. Kung Lao surprised Liu Kang and appeared to offend Shang Tsung when he threw off his disguise and faced Scorpion, determined to prove Raiden wrong. Kung Lao lost the battle. As a result of his indulgence, he was made to watch the rest of the competition and encourage Liu Kang. Kung Lao, then along with Sonya Blade, Jax, and Johnny Cage, saw Liu Kang get a medal for his triumph during a ceremony held at the Wuxi Academy following his victory over Shang Tsung, who gave Earthrealm the tournament victory and independence. The joy was short-lived as a reinvigorated Shang Tsung arrived at the Wuxi Academy later that night to offer Raiden a competition in Outworld. Shang Tsung sent a Tarkatan horde to demolish the Wuxi Academy and abduct Sonya Blade after Raiden rejected his proposal. Raiden had a vision of Liu Kang beating Shao Kahn at the Outworld tournament after conquering the Tarkatan horde. Raiden accepted the tournament challenge, but decided that in order to avert Armageddon in the future, he needed to modify the conclusion of this vision. Kung Lao and Liu Kang headed to the tower to save Kitana, leaving the rest to compete in the tournament. When Kung Lao and Liu Kang were unable to locate Kitana in the tower, they were approached by Shiva and Noob Saibot, who informed them that Kitana had been transported. Noob Saibot was beaten by Kung Lao, who felt a familiar presence within Noob after fighting him, potentially believing it for Sub-Zero. Following that, Kung Lao watched Liu Kang battle Shiva, commenting that 4 arms against 2 was hardly a fair fight, and asked if Liu Kang needed any assistance. Goro came at the same time, seeking vengeance on Liu Kang. Kung Lao defeated Goro and demanded the whereabouts of Kitana, to which the Shokan warrior answered that she had been transported to the Colosseum, where he had little doubt that she had been slain. The Shaolin monks arrived at the Colosseum and discovered Kitana imprisoned. Liu Kang came to Kitana's rescue, refusing to compete in the tournament because Raiden believed Liu Kang was not the one who was intended to beat Shao Kahn. With Smoke and Cage losing in the tournament and Jax and Sonya no longer in Outworld, Raiden thought Kung Lao might win and sent him into the battle. Kung Lao vanquished the combined power of Shang Tsung and Quan Chi, then went on to battle Kintaro. He removed his helmet and offered a few fake bows, assuring Raiden that Earthrealm was secure, until Shao Kahn assassinated him by breaking his neck from behind. This enraged Raiden and Liu Kang. Liu Kang eventually beats Shao Kahn, avenging the murder of his best friend. Later, along with the other slain soldiers, Kung Lao was revived by Quan Chi since his soul belonged to the sorcerer as compensation by Shao Kahn for Netherrealm's fealty. When Raiden traveled to the Netherrealm to seek Quan Chi's help in defeating the Outworld invasion, Quan Chi dispatched Kung Lao and others to murder him, but Raiden overcame them. The timeline continues in the Mortal Kombat X comic book series. After Kitana and Quan Chi kill Oni, Moloch, and Draman, the spirits of Liu Kang and Kung Lao appear in the Netherrealm. After finding that Havoc had only partially succeeded in exposing Shinnok's amulet, Kung Lao advises his companions to rely on deception because Earthrealm and Outworld are on high alert due to the Chaos Cleric's rampage. He proposes that they use D'Vorah, Shinnok's newest follower. In the game Mortal Kombat X, Kung Lao makes a comeback. According to the timeline in the narrative mode, he initially appeared 25 years ago, just before Shao Kahn's second tournament, when he and Liu Kang were both still alive. Kung Lao goes off with Raiden and Liu Kang to free the Shaolin monks who were captured by Baraka's Tarkatan army during the Wuxi Academy invasion. Kung Lao is extremely upset about the raid and Master Wen's passing, but Raiden warns him that some lines shouldn't be crossed. Kung Lao and Liu Kang battle the Tarkatan hordes as Raiden travels to battle Baraka and D'Vorah. After defeating Baraka and D'Vorah, Raiden orders Kung Lao and Liu Kang to save the monks while instructing them to join in the competition later. Kung Lao currently served as a revenant of Quan Chi 25 years after his death at the hands of Shao Kahn. He is shown leading Quan Chi to his citadel to wait for D'Vorah with Shinnok's amulet, while accompanied by the revenant versions of Liu Kang, Kitana, and Sindel. On their route, they are attacked by the Special Forces, led by Kenshi and Jax, with the assistance of Serena, Quan Chi's former maid. Kung Lao then confronts Jax as Liu Kang accompanies Quan Chi. Jax is told to return, but he refuses. Jax prevails in their fight. After that, Kung Lao arrives in the Sky Temple, where Shinnok tries to corrupt the Jinsei. Raiden tries to stop him, but he is besieged by Revenant servants. They mock him at first, but Raiden fights back. He is briefly dominated by them, but he manages to shock them all away and Kung Lao flees. Raiden urges him to halt, but he responds that he serves Shinnok in the Netherrealm. Raiden recalls that he only serves him because of his death at Shao Kahn's hands. Kung Lao reacts by claiming Raiden permitted his death, and that he will not be so passive in his fall. Kung Lao goes on to battle Raiden, only to be beaten by his former guru. Kung Lao is next seen with Smoke talking to Liu Kang as Cassie Cage and her squad arrive at the Sky Temple. Kung Lao claims to have discovered Raiden's passage to the skies, but he is thwarted by protecting wards. Kitana declares that the seal must be broken, and he, Liu Kang, and Smoke travel to Raiden's gateway to destroy the wards. When the three of them return, Kitana and Sindel have been ambushed by Cassie's crew. Jackie and Takeda volunteer to stay behind and repel the zombie revenants. After defeating Shinnok, Kung Lao and the other revenants flee to the Netherrealm. In Mortal Kombat 11, we see Kronika interrupting Kotal Khan's execution of the Collector. Baraka, Shao Kahn, Scarlet, and younger incarnations of Kitana, Kano, Kung Lao, Raiden, Aaron Black, Jade, Sonya, Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, Scorpion, Jax, and Cabal all come from the past. Kung Lao and the time-displaced heroes resolve to assist Kotal Khan in driving back the time-displaced Shao Kahn and his soldiers. The heroes triumph, and Kung Lao goes to Earthrealm with Liu Kang and Raiden to learn about what caused the three to arrive in the present. Dark Raiden is destroyed, leaving Shinnok's amulet behind. After forming an alliance with Kotal Khan, Kung Lao, Raiden, and Liu Kang arrive at the base. They discover an energy signal in a cave beneath the Wuxi Academy. Before leaving for the academy, the monks hear of the fate of their future counterparts from Cassie Cage and Jackie Briggs. When Liu Kang and Kung Lao arrive, they find that numerous Shaolin monks have been slaughtered while guarding the entrance to the Dragon Grotto. Scorpion was finally defeated by the monks, who forced him to flee, but Liu Kang and Kung Lao were imprisoned by the toxic fumes. The monks destroy the revenant form of Jade and the time-displaced Scorpion. Liu Kang and Kung Lao fight their future opponents in the grotto and finally defeat them. Kung Lao decapitates Geras with his hat, but he later resurrects. The two Shaolin monks then battle Kronika's henchmen, and Liu Kang expertly knocks the Jinsei vials out of Garrus' hands during the fight. The monks beat him, but before they can depart, Garrus resurrects, and Kronika freezes time to take the vials herself. As the Lin Kuei Temple, Raiden's Sky Temple, and the Special Forces Desert Base were overrun, Kung Lao and his remaining comrades sought refuge in the Shirai Ryu's Fire Gardens, where Raiden revealed Kronika's links to her offspring, Shinnok and Cetrion, as well as her plots through them. Kung Lao and Liu Kang beg Raiden to reunite them with Kitana in Outworld, rescue Jade from Scarlet, and defeat Baraka in order to gain an alliance with him and Shiva, when Cetrion informs him that Kotal Khan and Jade have been abducted. Kitana defeated Shao Kahn with their help, unifying the Outworld factions and assuming the throne from a now weakened Kotal, much to the relief of Kung Lao and Liu Kang. Kronika kidnaps Liu Kang when Raiden finds that his bouts with Liu Kang in other universes are part of Kronika's plot. Baraka, Raiden, Scorpion, Cassie Cage, Sub-Zero, Shiva, Kitana, Jade, and Kung Lao had a special joint task force to attack Kronika's keep after Charon is recruited. Kronika dispatches the Revenant Liu Kang to assault Raiden. Raiden becomes Fire God Liu Kang after merging with him. Kronika then sends improved Revenant versions of Kung Lao, Kitana, and Jade against the Fire God, who annihilates all three. In the aftermath, we see the Revenant Kung Lao, together with Jade and Cabal, is building an army in the Netherrealm to defend Kronika's keep, while the time-displaced Liu Kang and Kung Lao are preparing an army to attack her keep. Kitana's ship is assaulted by Shao Kahn and Sindel's soldiers before the climactic fight, due to the chronology shifts caused by Shang Tsung, Fujin, and Nightwolf capturing Kronika's crown. Kung Lao challenges Shao Kahn arrogantly, believing he was ready to beat him before they were all snatched away earlier. Sindel and Shao Kahn easily beat Kung Lao by tossing his hat overboard and flinging Kung Lao after it, forcing him to drown in the sea of blood. However, when Revenant Kung Lao fought Shao Kahn, Sindel, and Shang Tsung in the last chapter, it is unknown what happened to his body. It's plausible that the living Kung Lao drowned after his future self died. In the last chapter, Shang Tsung snaps Revenant Kung Lao's neck in a manner identical to how Shao Kahn did it. Kung Lao in Mortal Kombat, the 2021 film. Kung Lao was portrayed by Max Huang in the 2021 Mortal Kombat movie. As a descendant of the great Kung Lao is one of Lord Raiden's most trusted warriors. His primary weapon is his razor-brimmed hat, which he wields to great effect via teleportation. He is pretty cryptic in nature and does not speak much. He collaborates with other Earthrealm champions to train Cole Young at Lord Raiden's shrine in order to get him ready for Mortal Kombat against Outworld opponents. Cole Young begins the training by going one-on-one with Kung Lao. Although Cole appears to hold out for a while, Lao finally dispatches him with his hat, noting that skill only gets you so far in Mortal Kombat. He then lets Liu Kang battle Kano for a while, and when the rogue fails miserably, he remarks dryly that they have their work cut out for them. Later, they resume training and spar once again, but Lao effortlessly overcomes Cole once more. During supper that night, Kano refers to Kung Lao as Kung Pao and asks him to give him an egg roll. Lao instead grabs the egg roll for himself, advising him that he should cut back on the egg rolls and that even if he had 100 days to practice, he would not be ready to battle. Kano is described by Kung Lao as an overweight, sluggish pig and a horrible fighter with little technique. He goes on to say that fighting requires brains, but Kano is like a puppy that fails his training lessons. He and the others continue to insult Kano until, in his rage, he activates his Arcana, which allows him to discharge energy beams from his right eye. Following this occurrence, Cole Young is sent back home to his wife and kid after failing to uncover his Arcana. Meanwhile, Shang Tsung and his Outworld warriors attack Raiden's temple after Kano betrays the group. During the struggle, Kung Lao attempts to kill Shang, but the sorcerer just pushes his hat aside, declaring Kung Lao beneath him. He then summons Nitara to murder him. Lao concentrated as she prepared to swoop in so that he would be more than ready when the assault came. He throws his hat to the ground and spins it around so fast that as Nitara dives, she is too late to avoid collapsing, resulting in her blood splattering his face as it rips her in two. He then takes up the hat and puts it back on his head, proclaiming flawless victory. When Cole discovers his arcana after beating Goro, Lord Raiden brings him back to the temple. Shang Tsung directs Sub-Zero to assault him while Kung Lao tries to intervene. Shang, on the other hand, pulls Lao towards himself and declares his soul to be his. He screams for Liu Kang, who is being choked by Cabal. Cabal tells Liu Kang that Kung Lao will have his soul sucked out and that he enjoys the scream. Kang punches him out and flees, but not fast enough to stop Shang from sucking Lao's spirit into a green mist, leaving his body a withered husk. Cole restrains him and Raiden transports the remaining combatants to the Void, a secure zone where Shang cannot affect them. Kang explains here that he and Kung Lao were meant to die together. He declares that Earthrealm is lost without Kung Lao, but Cole responds that the war is not over and that they must continue. Kung Lao in Mortal Kombat Legends: Battle of the Realms. Kung Lao appears as a supporting character in the animated movie Mortal Kombat Legends: Battle of the Realms. He is a White Lotus Society warrior monk. He, along with Liu Kang, were picked by Raiden to defend Earthrealm in the last Mortal Kombat tournament organized by Shao Kahn. His voice is provided by Matthew Yang King. Following Liu Kang's triumph in Mortal Kombat, Outworld soldiers launch invasions on Earthrealm. When the Wuxi Academy is attacked by Outworld troops, Kung Lao defends it together with Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, Jax Briggs, and Kurt Stryker. Shao Kahn emerges amid the conflict and proposes to Raiden a last Mortal Kombat tournament to settle Earth's fate once and for all. If Earthrealm's troops triumph, Kahn's claim will be pronounced null and worthless, and Outworld will never attack Earthrealm again. Despite his supporters' protestations, Raiden accepts, viewing this last tournament as the only chance to stop decades of violence. After the Elder Gods accept Shao Kahn's proposition, the Earth Warriors journey to the Emperor's Citadel in Outworld to compete in the tournament. A succession of brutal clashes takes place over the following 2 days. Kung Lao fights the Edenian warrior Jade, although it is unclear if he kills her. Later in the tournament, Shao Kahn chooses to participate, and Kung Lao engages in combat with the Emperor. It quickly becomes evident that Kahn is on a completely different level compared to the other contenders, and he is undeterred by Lao's assaults, overcoming the Shaolin warrior with his enormous power. He even uses Lao's favorite weapon against him, snatching and hurling his razor-brimmed hat in mid-air. The hat carves a gaping incision across Lao's chest, which Kahn exploits to administer a killing blow. Kahn approaches Lao, takes off his hat, and places his hands on the monk's chest wound. He then uses his enormous power to split Lao in half, murdering him in a most terrible manner while the other Earthrealm soldiers look on in terror. Kung Lao appearances in other media. Mark Dacascos plays Kung Lao in Mortal Kombat Legacy Season 2, which is an anthology web series based on the game. Just like in the game, he was a close buddy of Liu Kang's throughout the series, since they were both members of the White Lotus Temple. Kung Lao appeared in numerous issues of Malibu Comics' Mortal Kombat series. His tale has been somewhat adjusted to state that he is in exile in Outworld due to his ancestors' failure and the demise of his bloodline. During the Blood and Thunder series, he plays a small role in saving a near-dead Liu Kang after Kano stabs him. In the Battle Wave storyline, he joins forces with Kitana, Baraka, and Sub-Zero to topple Emperor Shao Kahn. Throughout the comics, he has a very close relationship with Kitana, which contradicts the official account of Kang and Kitana's relationship. In the summer of 1995, he appeared in his own one-shot issue, Mortal Kombat Kung Lao, from Malibu Comics. The comic, titled Rising Sun, depicted his fight against Shang Tsung and his shape-shifting mind tricks, in which he used the forms of his allies, such as Baraka, Sub-Zero, and Kitana, as well as his own ancestors, to kill him. It would be the final issue in Malibu's Mortal Kombat series.
The Lesser Cage.
Liu Kang Light.
A mouth in search of a fist.
What makes Kung Lao so deadly? In terms of power, agility, and martial arts, Kung Lao is comparable to Liu Kang, but those aren't his most lethal weapons. Lao's favorite weapon is his razor-edged hat, which he always wears. The hat is typically used to deliver fatal and amputating blows, most notably decapitations. Kung Lao appears to have complete control of the hat, which, when thrown, goes along a circular trajectory rather than straight ahead. The hat also seems to have mystical characteristics, as it will always reappear on Lao's head, no matter how far he tosses it or where it ends up, just like Thor's hammer Mjolnir. He also looks to be capable of teleportation. His primary signature move is called the Hat Throw, and it is pretty self-explanatory. The name was changed to Hat Toss in Mortal Kombat 9. Another hat-related signature move of his is called the Hat Grinder, where the hat turns into a buzzsaw slicing the torsos of his opponents. He also had a lot of teleportation-related signature moves as well. As this character consistently shows up since his debut, most of the time as a playable character, it's natural that he would have a lot of fatalities. We'll talk about some of the most famous ones here. The first fatality is called Body Split, which debuted in Mortal Kombat 2, where Kung Lao lowers his razor hat, bisecting the opponent, who falls to their knees and divides vertically in half with a clean stroke. There's a small catch. This fatality necessitates that the player really aim the hat at their opponent. Every other fatality in the game occurs instantaneously. This move was renamed the Hat Split in Mortal Kombat X. In the last game, our favorite fatality of his is called the Meat Slicer, where Kung Lao removes his hat and throws it behind his opponent, twirling it in midair. He turns their arms around, inching closer to his hat to sever their shins. While spinning, we see the opponent from Kung Lao's point of view, which swiftly pans out to show him inching closer to cutting off their legs, then their lower torso. As he eventually tosses his opponent, the hat turns to chop the opponent in 2 vertical pieces.
Kung Lao wins.
Facts you didn't know about Kung Lao. Fact number 1. In a 1995 interview with the GM, Mortal Kombat co-creator John Tobias stated that Kung Lao's hat was inspired by the 1964 James Bond film Goldfinger, in which the character Oddjob tosses his derby hat as a lethal shuriken-like weapon. His look is most likely influenced by the character Ozone from the 1984 film Breakin'. Fact number 2. The White Lotus Society intended for Kung Lao to represent Earthrealm in the Mortal Kombat tournament in the original Mortal Kombat game. However, because Kung Lao despised violence, Liu Kang took his position instead. This plot was modified in Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, which included both Kung Lao and Liu Kang as key protagonists. According to the game's story, Liu Kang was indeed chosen over Kung Lao. As a result, the latter became jealous and spiteful towards the former. Fact number 3. Kung Lao's clothes are actually flipped in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. What would generally be Kung Lao's secondary outfit, with no headgear and his long hair revealed, is instead his original costume, and vice versa. It's unclear if this was done on purpose or by mistake, given that Kung Lao wore his famous hat as his primary outfit in every other game. It's reasonable to conclude that the scenario in Deadly Alliance was unintentional. Marvelous verdict. Kung Lao made a big impression when he first appeared in Mortal Kombat 2, and he's remained a fan favorite in the Mortal Kombat series ever since. He's one of the most unique and distinctive Mortal Kombat designs, thanks to his fantastic Wing Chun-inspired fighting style and his signature bladed headgear. He was also one of the few Asian-looking fighting game characters in 1993, quickly making him very popular all over the world. Unfortunately, in some of his later fighting game appearances, Kung Lao did not age well. His graphic design got monotonous and appeared to be a rehash with each subsequent version. It only took them 15 years to make him famous again in Mortal Kombat 9. What do you think about Kung Lao? Let us know what your favorite fatality is from the iconic Shaolin monk in the comments below. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. This has been Corey Whelan for Marvelous Videos. Have a good one, be safe out there, and thanks for watching.
The lesser cage.
Liu Kang Light.
A mouth in search of a fist.